YouTube. I don't hear it yet. Mine's just now. There it is. There it is on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday morning. Hello, hello. Hope you've all recuperated from the weekend, from Saturday night. I know it took me a while to recuperate from Saturday night, from Friday and Saturday. I was pretty much dead yesterday. It was truly a day of rest for me. I needed it badly. So I took a day rest so I could be ready to go today. It's Monday morning, and that means Monday Jump Start. And we are excited. I have Candy here with me today. She's working on her equipment for a minute. So, hi, Edna. First one in. Happy to see you. Hello, Linda. And hi, Margie. Did you guys all have a good weekend? Hopefully. Got us up on the TV on YouTube. Is my lighting too bright? I'm looking at that. Is it too bright? Is it kind of hard to see because it's too bright? Sometimes the shiny things, sprays and mediums. Let's see. Did that help it at all? It might. Margie slept good Saturday night for sure after laughing so hard. Laura, you can't replace rest. No, Laura, you can't. No amount of caffeine can replace rest. Lighting looks good. Okay, good. Awesome. I know sometimes the things that are metallic or have a shine to them, the light will reflect off of them. I just sprayed a couple of these cards, so I know they're shiny with wet spray, and the light might reflect them. Never too bright for me. Bad eyes. Awesome. That makes me feel better. Laura, are you recuperated from the week? I'm not sure your mom is. Not sure your mom is. I'm not even sure if she got this link sent out to everybody. I know she got in late last night, chatted with her for a brief second about midnight, and she was headed to bed. Not a chance. She was headed to bed, but I know she'd been in a lot of pain. I'm sure you have been too, but you put up with it for the week just to have that great week with her, and then back to taking care of it. Right? I'll be resting all week. Yep, exactly. Yeah, sometimes, always with chronic illness, when we know it's coming, but we do it anyway because it's the only way we get to do some of the things. But you spend a day or two or a week, a day or two doing something great like that, like shopping all day with your mom. And it takes 2 or 3 days to recover. Okay, do it again. It was a fabulous week. So glad to hear that. Hi, Kathy. All right, Candy, I don't hear any echo.
I had to plug in my headphones.
Oh, well.
They won't hook up Bluetooth for whatever reason today. I may get my cord fixed.
They just want to rebel. All right, today is Monday. This is for the week of March 28th through April 2nd. That's just Monday through Saturday, because we don't do any of our lives on Sunday. Today is hashtag Monday Jumpstart ATC Color. Monday Jumpstart ATC Color. Thursday, this will be Thursday's hashtag. And then don't forget, hashtag 1,000 subs. Comment on any YouTube video with hashtag 1,000 subs. And get yourself in the drawing for the box of crafty goodness. So we'll give just a couple minutes for a couple more people to come in. I just got this box of Kleenexes. Brought this in a new box. And I noticed this. Kleenexes have get crafty on their box. So somebody must be telling them that we're using their boxes for crafts. Today's your day to overcome anything. And then check this out. Create corner bookmarks. Here's how you do it. But what's funny is that unfold the Kleenex box, because the whole thing unfolds into one long thing in this shape, and then cut right here on the dotted line and get this one little corner bookmark. Like, seriously, people, you need to come to one of our tutorial sessions. We could take that whole thing and we could make about 8 corner bookmarks and our book Yeah, corner bookmarks and a bookmark, probably an ATC or something else with that. Look at all they're wasting. One corner bookmark out of that entire box. Really? Every one of these flaps is an ATC. So there's 4 right there. We've done a lot of things with Kleenex boxes. Hi, Maki. We were just waiting a minute for you to get here. That's what. I can't be on my feet more than an hour or so at a time, so really had to spread out the shopping, but we managed to find a couple things. We found some very cool things, and yeah, I know how tough that is. Plus the frame, exactly. Yeah, an automatic frame with the Kleenex box hole, and it's a very cool addition. What was that? Was that the cat screaming?
I don't know. I didn't hear a cat screaming.
But,
I don't know. I don't know what you heard.
I don't know. I hear nothing. I see nothing.
Yeah, these headphones are really good. They block out a lot of noise.
Block out everything.
Yeah. So
excuse me. These spring allergies are killing me. Everything in the yard is in bloom. The apricot tree looks like popcorn ball. The Asian pear tree is full of blooms. The magnolia tree is full of blooms. Other things that are not fruit bearing are full of blooms. The duck is in the front yard in the ivy, sitting on her nest, quacking up a storm all day, telling everybody to stay away. Or maybe she's telling her husband what to do, what to go get. Bring me something back. I got to stay here with these eggs. I got to watch these kids. Will you please go get me some food? I don't know. And then she sits quietly on the eggs for a while. It's very cute. But she's noisy. In the house, through the door, through the front door, everything closed, I can hear her.
We had neighbors. Well, actually, what neighbors? They were like 4 or 5 houses down. They had guineas. They were outside the subdivision. Yes. They were like, 3 houses outside the subdivision.
Right.
And they could have guineas. They had some guineas. And oh my God, they would come down here. They were loud. They'd echo through the garage. Oh my God. I was glad when they got rid of them.
Oh boy.
I was like, we might have to run over some guineas, Rodney.
Yeah, really. You can go hunting for guineas, but we are not having them. We're not raising them.
I was like, woo.
Oh. I'm using as a mat an old desk calendar. A lot of times when I'm just working, not a lot on the lives, but when I'm just doing stuff at my desk, I have this old desk calendar sitting here. I'm going to do this for a second just so you can see. This is May of 2020. It's a little old. That's okay. I keep these old desk calendars, and if you find someplace they're just throwing them out because they're outdated, grab them because these are huge. They're awesome to collage on. So when I'm working or making something, I a lot of times will just have this underneath. It keeps me from gluing my desk, but also when I have particular scraps, I just glue the scraps down on this, and this turns into collage pages. And if I'm working with book pages, especially, I can do a whole layer of book pages, and then do stuff on top of it and turn it into a really nice master board. But either way, I always end up with a great, nice big collage that I can cut up into tag bases and or journal cards. And
guinea dinner tastes like chicken.
Yeah, actually it does. Yeah, my allergies, Margie, it's like they're not bad enough to take anything. It's just that everything is blooming. All of a sudden I find that my sinuses are running, driving me crazy, but it's really not bad enough to take anything. Your eye, yeah. Oh, I hate when eyes are itching from allergies. Mine aren't.
They don't itch, they water.
Oh, that's bad. Okay, so on my desk, I have lots of sprays. I've got some Stamperia sprays. They're all, I guess I could move the camera and show you, but they're all around. You just saw that calendar there. In front of it, I have a piece of cardboard right there, and that's just to act as a backsplash. So when I'm spraying, I'm not spraying all over my desk or anything that's up there. And then over here are some different kinds of sprays. I also even brought up a couple of distress embossing glazes. I might sprinkle a little bit of powder there. Trying to go slow. Don't want to make you sick. Over here, There's alcohol inks and more alcohol inks. There's some Nuvo mousse because I can put water with those, make them liquid. And there's more sprays and more alcohol inks and more sprays. And there's some Calligraphy ink in there. So the point, and over here is like I just pulled out all the old sprays that I have. That there's just no, that's a new one, but there's just a little bit left. Need to get rid of them. There's some Calligraphy ink that's super thick. I got a lot of things that just have a tiny bit left from things I picked up at an estate sale.
Kathy's taking off. She's going to a nail appointment.
Oh, bye, Kathy. We'll see you when you get back. I have some alcohol that I can spritz. If I put alcohol down and want to do that, I have some alcohol that I can squirt. And I have thought I pulled one out, but I didn't. I've got a pipette that I can take alcohol and drop it if I want. And you're going to get a different effect with each one of these. And that's why I like to have all three of those. Those are the three things that were in the alcohol accessory kit. And I've got some hand sanitizer for my hands to try to clean them every now and then. So I just got a little bit of everything, kind of sprays. Let me go back here. And the idea is that anything that you can make liquid or anything that is liquid. I didn't bring out any watercolor ink. I do have some of that. I could grab. Well, we'll do that. Are you cutting cardboard?
Yep.
That's that sound.
I'm sorry.
No, that's
I meant to have it done beforehand and I forgot. I had it sitting here and I had to cut it out.
Get it done. I also brought some water if something needs to be watered down or moved around. So last week we took ATC cards. ATCs. We took 2.5 by 3.5 cards, called them ATCs, and we put color down on them. I put the color on the gel plate and just smashed them down and picked up the color with the gel plate. You might have just run a brush over them and added color. You might have put color onto some tinfoil or onto a glass mat and then turned them over and picked up the color that way. It doesn't really matter, and they're not going to stay looking like that. So just to get some color on them. And some of them have a lot of white space left on them. The stack that doesn't have medium is behind me, so I'm going to leave that there. So the ones I have here with me at the desk all have medium on them. I have a bunch that the medium that I put through the stencil is clear, and I have never done that before. And I wanted to see how the clear medium would affect, if it would affect at all, what we get, the outcome we get. So this is the Savannah stencil. Maybe you can kind of see the outline right there of one of those mandalas, those Savannah circles. That's there, but it's a clear medium, so it's, you don't really see it a whole lot. But I would imagine when we get some color on there, it should jump out. That's also the Savannah stencil right there. Let's see. There, you can see the lines. That's that one up in the corner. It's almost looking like a sun, the way it's put up there with all those lines coming out. So I'm curious to see how the clear medium works. And then the rest of them, I have a bunch like that. I did a batch like that. And then the rest just like normal with a white medium. And you notice when I know I'm going to do color over them like this, I'm not really concerned about little bits here and there because they just add texture and they end up colored. So when I was doing them after the live, I needed to go through and get medium on a bunch more because I didn't get medium on a ton of them.
Oh, you didn't? I did. I didn't have that problem.
I know. I got a ton of cards made, but I didn't put medium on a ton of them, and I wanted to have more. So I went through and put some medium on some more of them. And some of the stencils that I used, like this one specifically, one of my favorite ones, I use it a lot, had an inch of paint buildup on it. Well, okay, not quite an inch. That's exaggerating. But it had a lot of paint buildup on it. And so when I was doing the medium through it, it didn't go cleanly. There was medium all the way around. And, I don't usually fuss about that. And I didn't. And I thought, I'm going to leave it there because it'll show you, especially in this situation, the raised medium is still the design. And so there's medium spread around the base, you know, that I wouldn't normally want if I was only leaving the medium and I wanted it to be a nice clean design like this. I might leave one of these because I love the color and you got a nice clean design with the white medium. I would never leave this like this because it's very sloppy. Looks like I did it when I was in kindergarten. Well, maybe I'd do better in kindergarten because I wouldn't be so concerned about what it looks like. But the point is that when you start putting color on it, all of this is going to get covered up with color. So it doesn't really matter. What's raised is still raised. The color down there can be completely covered up. So that's why I didn't worry about them. A lot of them still have a lot of white left, and that can be colored or not colored or whatever you choose to do. So I'm going to move some of these to the side and we'll just start with a few. At the end of that session, I took whatever medium was left on my palette knife and I just scraped it onto this one. So the texture on this one is literally called scrape off. Cleaning of the palette knife, scrape off. So, another thing you can do that I didn't do, but I do like doing, and do I have? In a minute, I'll get up and get that. I might have it close by that I can show you. But when you put down, it works really well when I do something like something like this. I've already sprayed this, but when I do something like this where there's lots of either little circles, these are not circles. This is a plastic doily. And there's the center of the doily. And so it goes out from there. But they're kind of circular. You know, it's kind of symmetrical. It's just got all these little shapes and bits and pieces here and there. There's lots of pieces is the point. When you put that on, let it go on fairly thickly, and then use your heat gun to dry it and leave it on past drying. And just let it get really hot and it will start to bubble. And it doesn't even matter if it starts to look a little scorched, because you're going to put color on it, but it starts to bubble, and just let it bubble up, and then just let the bubbles fall and settle as they will, and you can get a really cool texture that you can't get just spreading medium through. I'm going to see if this is right here. Some of you have seen it. A lot of the new people haven't because it's been a bit. Not sure if it's right here though. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. Nope. I can show you later. Okay. Anyway, I had did a whole journal cover that is kind of a leather look. It's a faux leather look that I did that on. And it shows you in a bigger area, so it's easier to see. So that's cool because you can take one texture that you start with and turn it into a different texture. And when people see that, the first thing they ask me is, how did you get those to bubble like that and then create, you know, whatever they do? All I did was give it heat and it did the rest on its own. So sometimes I like these stencils that have all the little grooves between them, and I like to get gold or some other shiny color, you know, running down in between them. This one, I actually used a brush to put that on. That is alcohol alloy, the gold or gilded or whichever the alloy is, just brushed in between there. So
right. Julie and Carolyn have come in.
Hey, Julie. Hi, Carolyn.
She said it's harder to get up in the mornings now. Get up early, she said.
Oh, why is that, Julie? Did you go to bed too late or worn out more, or?
Well, what time is it for her?
She's 17 hours ahead of me. So noon, it's midnight plus 7. It's 7 in the morning. 7 a.m. But I don't know. Do you guys do you change times like we do, the daylight savings time stupid thing? I don't think they do. But either way, especially if you've been working. And I know you get up super early on Sunday morning for another live. So you're probably dead tired on Monday. And it's always, for me, when I get up super early or don't get hardly any sleep, it's always worse the next day, not the day I hardly got any sleep. Do you find that?
Yeah.
It's always worse the second day.
Like 5 in the morning there, and
then for Julie, it should be like
5:19. She said, "Yeah, I was gonna say 5:19."
Wait a minute. Do you guys change time, Julie? No, she said. Do you guys change time? Maybe I need to relook at my phone then, because maybe I went one direction an hour, you went the other direction an hour, and we went from 17 to 15 hours. So it's 5 a.m. All right, we'll give you that. It's a little tougher to get up at 5 a.m., but I'm up at 5 a.m. every day, so not by choice.
Okay. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, you gotta get up pretty early in the morning if you're gonna get the best of me. We're gonna get a jump on me. That's how it goes. So you'll be starting at 4 a.m. Next week you come off daylight savings. So that means you go backwards. And so it'll be 4 a.m. on Monday. Wow. Wow. That's why she likes Saturday.
I'd be like, see you ladies. Won't be there.
I'll watch the replay. Oh, man. Okay. So let's get started, because basically we're just going to play. Who has their ATCs and is doing some stuff with us? Anybody? 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 Are y'all just watching today and chatting and having a relaxing Monday, or is anybody doing it with us? That's what I'd like to know. Have to keep my throat well hydrated so it doesn't get all dry from the stuff in the air. Hey, Shelly. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, there's always the replay, Margie says. Big time tired.
Yeah.
Okay, so we may not have anybody doing it along with us, but that's how you learn the techniques, and gives you a good chance to watch and ask things. And if you think of something that you'd like us to try, just say, and we will try it. Okay, we can do that. I'm gonna see if I can. There, at least you can see Candy somewhat there, and we can switch screens now and then because we'd like to see. Margie's still working on her dangles. Nice. I like those dangles a lot. Linda's watching.
Yeah, cool.
Hi, Connie. Welcome. And you're watching. Well, I want you to know I got all the Candy had the invoices done. Man, I thought she'd take a day to be tired, and she had all the invoices done. And so I got my part all done this morning. They're ready to go. So invoices will go out this afternoon and tonight. 35 of them. Nice, Margie. So we're ready to play because we've been working all weekend on invoices. So, all right. So the first thing I typically do is either start with a spray or alcohol ink. And I never really know where it's going to go. It's not like I look at it and say, oh, this is going to be this and that and going to end up here and look like that. I can decide kind of a color palette, but that often doesn't work for me either. I just kind of do it as I go.
I just picked a color palette. It did not work.
I pick one color at a time. And if I put something on and I don't like it, I just let it dry or grab the hairdryer and dry it. And then I put something else over it. Nothing, even alcohol ink on here, nothing is ever permanent. Ever, ever, ever. So here's, I'm looking for an alcohol ink here. I want a kind of a dark. Let's try espresso. I think you'll be able to see that. Okay, I'm going to start with this one that the medium is clear. And one of the things that I like to do, when I do alcohol ink, I typically do it one drop at a time. You can do it however you want, but I do one drop at a time. I want to see what I'm going to get from that, and then see where I want to add and what I want to add. And you can put a layer of something on, and then you can dry it, and then you can keep going. I will most often work on multiple at the same time, because I will put a drop on and I'll do this a little bit. And okay, I like that. I'm going to let that sit and dry. And then I'll work on the next one, because it doesn't take that long for it to dry if I do that. Sometimes I just keep going and going and going. And now I've got like 5 layers of alcohol ink on it. I got to let it dry overnight. But I will start with one drop of ink and see what I get from it. And I like to kind of let it run between the design of whatever medium I put on. And I'll even do it on different spots on the card. And then a lot of times I'll just tilt it so that it runs so that they meet somewhere. So it's a very organic. It's not running very far, is it? It's up in this corner. But at least you can see it because it's the espresso. You can see that it's running between. It is going over the top of some of that medium, but I think even that we'll be able to see a little bit better. Isn't it interesting how even on the alcohol ink, some are thicker than others, and it's because some pigments end up runnier than others when made into a liquid. I can't tell you why. I don't understand the science of that. But it's like paints. If you've got acrylic paints and some you pick up and they're always runnier than others. Others are darker. Okay, that's just kind of a blobby mess. And I'm really not getting anything that I really like. I'm going to give it a spritz of alcohol and see if it makes it move at all. And if I hold it up here, I might even tap it to encourage it to go, and might get some little runs that just looks like, little tiny fingers running off here and there. It's not really doing anything for me, but it does make for a good dark base. I'll just do one over here then, because I like the dark base. I can do other things on top of it. So we won't end up seeing that in the end, but it will add good contrast to whatever's on top of it when you just see tiny bits peeking out. That just really soaked right in. That was weird. You know why? Oh, you know why? Duh! This is watercolor paper, not Yupo or plastic paper.
Oh, I have coated cards, so mine are.
Dang! On the playing cards. All right, I'm gonna make you big for a second and let him watch.
Oh, that was a mess.
Because you've got the plastic playing cards, and see if I can grab any that I've already done, or if all the ones I have nearby me are all on watercolor. Shoot, because I really wanted to show you the alcohol. If they are, I'm going to be smearing down some medium quickly on some. Okay, so what are you using? Shimmer powder.
Shimmer powder.
Yep. Shimmer powder, then that would be awesome on the watercolor paper because it will burst with the water. So I've got the water spritzer here too. Okay, I'm going to cut one of these down real quick, and it'll take a minute for it to dry, but it can do that while we work on some of the others. We'll just use some of the other mediums. Oh, that didn't even dawn on me. I grabbed the wrong batch. No wonder it wasn't moving on here. This espresso should have been winding all the way, all over, here and there, everywhere. Okay, let's see here. 3.5, 3.5 is 7, 2.5, 2.5 is 5. Okay. And then 3.5. That didn't even register. Didn't even register. I've got ATC's cut that I use just of cardstock. I've got others of watercolor paper. I really like working with the watercolor paper, and others of plastic paper, meaning Yupo or Yupo type. Yupo is a brand. You guys probably already know that. I try to tell you that a lot. Because when I originally was hearing about it, Tim Holtz and Yupo paper, I thought Yupo was a type of paper. And it's not. It's a brand of paper. And there are other papers out there that are...
Julie's asking if you have brushos. I thought she's asked this before. I thought you said you didn't.
No, I don't. Brushos are like the shimmer powders that Candy's using. different brand Brushos, Lindy's Magicals, Shimmer Powders. Those are all the same kind of thing. So that's what Candy's was putting down. I've got those, yes, but I don't have the brand of Brushos. No. All right. Oh, I thought I was done doing mediums. Oh, here we go again. Good thing I cleaned that palette off. Well, this is a good one here. Put some on here real quick. I don't hear the birds anymore, Candy. Did you close the window?
No, it's open. They're out there. You can hear them?
No. Well, yeah, now I do a little bit. Just maybe not the same birds, so they're not as loud.
Well, that one was out there. The shotgun one was out there this morning at 5 o'clock. Right outside my bedroom window.
So I'm not going to put color on this first, like I normally do on the gel plate. I'm going to go straight to the medium so I can get...
Yeah, Julie, that's what the shimmer powder is too. It's the same thing. Brushos,
yeah, shimmer powder,
magicals, and shimmer powder. They do. That's what they all do.
There's another one. There's another brand. I'm not familiar.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, but Brushos, Lindy's Magical, Nuvo Shimmer Powder. Those are all the exact same type of product. They all do the same thing. So it doesn't matter. You know, use what you have. If I use one brand and you have a different brand, doesn't matter. Yeah, they all have the same effect. Trying to get it into these little corners here, little tips. This is one of my favorite. Plastic doilies are awesome. If you can get plastic doilies from your grandma's trunk, or maybe you've got some away in your stash, or you find them at a garage sale. Plastic doilies are great. They don't tear. They have much longer life. And they usually have, okay, here we go. This might be a good example to show heating this up and letting it bubble. There. How about, here's one. Let's do, I put that over here to dry. What was that?
My air buffer.
Oh, that's funny. Sounded like scraping of something. Then you say air puffer. And okay, now I hear it. That's kind of cool. Now I hear the sound. Let's see. What do I want? I want that. Almost out of this cream paste. So when you're putting your medium down, it's just smash it down and scrape it across. That's your technique to get your best. Smash it down, scrape it across. That'll be a pretty one.
No, Julie, the shimmer powder blooms. It does bloom.
Yeah, just like the Magicals and just like the Brushos. They're the same thing, just different brands. Maybe they're different colors. I don't know. But they're the same properties. They're the same properties that do the same thing. They bloom with multiple colors. I'll pull those out because those would be better to use on the watercolor paper while these are drying.
Yeah, I just don't have watercolor paper, so mine didn't bloom really good. But
yeah,
it bloomed good.
Regular paper, or you have them on plastic paper, huh?
It's a plastic coated paper. So they bloomed a little bit.
You've got the stuff for the alcohol ink, and I got out the stuff for the water.
Yeah, sorry.
And I didn't bring out any of the watercolor. Okay, but I do have. Now I'm saying Brushos. I do have shimmer powders. Right, close by here. So let me grab them.
The shimmer powders just have more of a metallic-y shine to them than the Magicals that I have. I only have a couple Magicals. I don't have that many, so I don't know if there's other ones.
I've never used Brushos.
Yeah, I've never had Brushos, so I don't know about those.
Are they metallic shiny or what? Are they like?
No, the ones I have are They're not metallic shiny. Where are they?
The brushes?
I don't have brushes. I have magicals. I have some magicals.
Okay. Yeah, I know Glynis has magicals. I remember when she first got them, telling me about them. Not that we need this many different colors, but we don't know what we want to choose at any given moment. I like having the options, all options available. All right, so let's do that.
Julie said the brushes aren't shimmery.
Yeah, well, shimmer powders will have a shimmer. Brushes might be, I don't know, are they matte? Are they metallic? Are they shiny but not shimmery?
Crap.
But the properties, I mean, the idea is that the properties of them, meaning that they burst, are the same properties. So they all burst. That might be, here's one that has there. I'm going to get a couple that have, those are really dark colors though. Have any light ones that have the clear medium on it? They would be good ones for shimmer powder. Okay, and we'll let those, I did 3. We'll let those others dry the plastic. Okay, so take those aside. That would be good. And that one, and that one, and that one. All right. So we're going to do these 4 here with some, we'll start with some shimmer powders. With the shimmer powders, you saw Candy on Saturday at the sale, and you heard must be very adamant in making sure that you knew not to squeeze them. If you squeeze them, you're going to have a powder burst. And
or if you tap them too hard.
Yeah, you just want to.
Which I've been known to do.
Them. I'm going to put this storm cloud.
Yeah, I got a black blob out of that.
Did you?
Yeah, okay. I did because I got too much.
Okay, I'm going to try. And you know what? My storm cloud is new to me.
That was mine. So I think I got
I'm going to try it on this one that's gold base with a lot of white medium. So it's just a very light tap just to get, oh, even that's too hard.
Yeah, mine came out really.
And yeah, and okay, so you see how much powder is on there? Not a lot. I have a feeling it's too much because this powder bursts to about, 100 times what it is. So you can't take it off. You can't unring the bell, but you can add more. So if you do just a tiny bit, let's try a little bit of this blue blitz on this one. If you put just a tiny bit, I'll just put now I'm hitting it and it's going all over here on my paper. It's going to be a pretty paper though. If you do just a tiny bit and you don't have enough, you can always add more, but you can't take it off. So how about Solar Flare on this one that's got lots of color on it? Now I'm being so careful. I'm tapping it. Nothing's coming out. Okay, I'm just going to put a tiny bit. I mean, you think this is a tiny bottle, but oh my gosh, it'll last you forever because you only need a tiny bit. And this one is Falling Leaves. We'll do Falling Leaves over here. Haven't even gotten any out yet. I'm so worried about tapping too much because, yeah, I think it was Debbie. The first time she used them, she squeezed it. Yeah. I tried not to laugh when she told me about it because, yeah, she got a big puff bomb, a powder bomb. And it is a powder bomb. And you really don't want that. Okay, now watch this blue right here. Woo-wee! This is not the one I want. This doesn't spritz very well. This gives too much straight water. This one spritzes. Okay, here's the black. There was only a little bit on that. And look how much. There's some red in there. I see some green and some blue in there. With that storm cloud. That'll be cool. Especially getting some of those other colors in there. Okay, I had the wrong water bottle and it comes out in streams instead of spritz. So I'm just going to move that around. I'm going to take this one. Just try to mop that little bit up. All right. This one was the Solar Flare. Ah, cool. You can see the yellow and the gold. I see the blue popped out right here. Some green. That looks cool with colors underneath it. Yeah, it's going to need more, but I didn't want to do too much. This one we should see good contrast. This was Falling Leaves, which looks green. Has a green base. I can see blue in it already. Yeah, I know it's hard to see that color on the screen. Yeah. And it's, it doesn't come out very intense on the screen because of the white underneath it. But okay, so then you can add another color. Let's try some Cherry Bomb over here. And maybe a little bit of Cherry Bomb over here with the Falling Leaves. Let's put Cherry Bomb on all of them. What the heck? Whoops. Got a big line of Cherry Bomb on this one. Let's see what happens. What is this one? Golden Sparkler. That one was new too. I haven't used that one.
No, I haven't got that one. You're holding out on me, Marianne.
Obviously I didn't have any. Only got one, or I would have told you about it. Yeah, look at this. That's pretty. That's a pretty color. Now you might be able to see. Boy, on StreamYard I can see the green and the
but not
reds coming out, but not on YouTube. There, that's a little bit better on YouTube. It's that white is so bright that it completely washes out the color on top of it. Yeah, just wait till we get that white covered. Then some of that color will start to show up a little more intensely. Whoops. Went to town on that one.
You spritz with the water first, then put the brushes on with that. It doesn't work quite as well, Julie.
Yeah, it
works, but it doesn't work quite as well.
Yeah, it works. It just doesn't work the same.
Carolyn's back.
Hey, Carolyn. Okay. Starting to get some pretty color in there.
She went and watched a video with different brands of paint powders.
Oh, nice.
Comparison.
Paint powder, like the Shimmer Powders?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Cool. Tell us what you found out, Carolyn. Like the Brushos, the Shimmer Powders, the Magicals, that like that. It looks like you can see the color a little bit better if I leave it down here because that white isn't quite so brilliant right up by the camera light. So you can see the colors starting to come out there. Now, these really need to dry. This one's not too bad, but if they're still wet and I put more on top and then add more water, then it all just starts running, here and there and everywhere together. So they do need to dry. I can use just a thought coming from my experimenter's brain. Yep. That's exactly what you need to do, Julie. Well, what if I put them on this way? What if I put them on that way? Help them along a little bit here. This is just a regular hair dryer on low. You get some heat on the back. It's going to help it to dry faster if it's watercolor paper, because the paper is going to soak in moisture, and so it will dry faster if you get some heat to the back too. Okay, so those are not dry thoroughly, but they're getting there. We can do. Let's see. This is Crimson Velvet. It's a Nuvo spray. Actually, I want to start with some of these over here that are almost gone that I just need to get rid of. Let's see what's there. Tattered Angels sugar cookie. That does not look like sugar. Maybe it is. Who knows? Okay. Yes, the brush
Did-
to reveal more intense color variations. Plus, they didn't flow off the paper as fast once the water was moved around. The other powders seemed to be more watercolory. Interesting. They did all function the same way. They just have different intensities. Okay. So you could, if you want more, a more intense color, you can add more. You know, there's some pretty intense blue and reds and pinks here. And I didn't use very much powder, so I think I might kind of like it if this is less intense, because I can always add more. But if I start out with more intense, then I have to put something else on it to tone it back, and that takes away from the color, from the intensity of the color. A word of warning when using heat gun on plastic paper, melty, it's good. Marion was using cool setting. Okay, these are watercolor paper, Julie. These are watercolor paper. That's why we're doing the Nuvo Shimmer Powders on them. I do have the plastic paper over here. I just put the medium on it, so I'm letting that dry so that we can do the alcohol ink on that, because I really wanted to focus on some alcohol ink and sprays today for you guys to see some ways to really use your alcohol ink effectively. Okay. Oh, don't tell me this is going to be one of those that doesn't spray. Or is it just almost out? And nope, I got a bunch that aren't spraying. So we're just going to get some of it on it like this. And if it gets on some of the others, that's okay too. Okay. Well, I do want a spray that sprays. What is this one? Dark purple copper. Wow, dark purple and copper. That's interesting. A dark purple copper. That should be pretty on that one, because it's got purple and gold. I know, we'll find out. My shimmer sprays always clogged up on me, so frustrating. I have a whole box of them that I bought from an estate sale, so I have no idea how old they were, but they, you know, they're still good paint in there, so I'm not throwing them away. But probably a quarter of them, the sprays haven't worked. And so I just use up the others, and then I move the spray tops over to these ones that don't work, or I use these for jazzing up scraps. That's something we'll have to do that. Maybe we'll do that as one of those live tutorials together, Candy, and then we can post it so everybody can see it, because that is a very, very cool way. Oops. To wow, that's dark. That's really dark. All right.
Which one?
This is just some leftover. It's a glitter mist. It's a dark purple copper. But that was, yeah, it just kind of took over that. I was hoping to get rid of that, but that needs to be more base, or just like a little spritz. Ooh, that just soaked right into the, wow, it turned that gray. That's interesting. I'm seeing what it'll do. If I don't like it, I just let it dry. Do something else over the top of it. You can get replacement for it. Yeah, I know. But I've got so many of them that just have a little bit left in them, and then they'll be done because they were from this estate sale. I don't want to buy replacement sprayers for those, because I've also got a ton, you know, that are new, mine, that I've just set aside, and I'm trying to use up all these old ones.
I have some Dollar Tree squirters I bought, sprayers. And I'll just transfer them to that. They're just little.
Yeah, they work. Especially you fill up a little one and you do a whole batch of scraps.
Yeah.
Might use it up right there.
Yep. And rinse it out.
Yep. Okay, this one is a rich mocha. And so it's dark, but it has a shimmer to it, a mocha. Because it's a Tattered Angels, it has a shimmer. And so they're getting pretty wet. They're getting pretty wet now. Okay, they need to be dry. So if I kind of like some of the color that I got in the background, which I don't, but if I did, I would let this completely dry, and then I could take some mousse with my finger and just run a little mousse over the top of these hexagons here and make the hexagons stand out with the color behind them. Same thing with the numbers. Or another thing that you can do is, where's the gold? Or maybe, let's see, fresh copper. Red Cosmic Brown. Yeah. Maybe I'll use fresh copper here. Another thing that you can do with your mousse, I found that I really, really like using the mousse like watercolor paints. And all you do is take a brush. Let's see. I'm going to do a little bit on this one. So I'll use a fairly small brush here, I think. And just get your brush wet. And it's a clean brush and you're only using this, so it doesn't matter that there's water in it, because the water just helps keep it from drying up. And just get some on your brush. This isn't dry, so it's hard trying to do this in a short period of time because things don't have time to dry. But I can just go in here and kind of paint around.
It says after sprays, spray wax is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
She said Carolyn wonders if you can add some resist mediums to the texture.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Then you can just rub it off there. So I could go through and do this on background around some of these numbers, and it would kind of highlight some of the numbers. Or I could do it.
Margie just calling us lazy. She said we can clean the sprayers after every use.
Oh, good grief, Margie. Or I could do this right over the top of, if I like the color I've got, I can do the mousse over the top of the number, which is the medium that I put down, and make the medium, or make the number the copper, so it stands out like that. So whichever you want to cover, if you like the media, if you like what you have on the background, color the medium, the stencil, whatever you put down, let it stand out. If you like what's on the medium, color the background. And you can use multiple colors to do this. Just throwing some of these down really quickly.
Maybe if I put 20 colors on here, maybe I'll get something I like.
There you go. If you find one that you like, you can overlay all the others. So there's just putting some copper. And you see how the copper didn't even cover up the shimmer powder? So there's some copper with some red or pink showing through it. These aren't dry yet.
Anybody else had problems being able to cover up the nice gel plate patterns on your cards like me? I didn't get any good gel plate patterns, so I didn't have that problem, Julie.
I don't understand why you want to cover up the nice gel plate patterns
on your cards to add another layer.
Isn't that the point of, or you mean you doing one and you're getting the one from before it that's underneath it? If that's the case, you need to do another pull between them.
No, we did these cards from the gel plate.
Right.
She likes what she has without putting anything else on top of it.
Okay. Oh, having a hard time
covering up.
I see what you're saying. Julie, I might leave some of these just like this. I really love the gel plate pattern I have here, and it matches the Savannah, and I use the Savannah stencil to put this medium down. I might leave these just as they are, because this reminds me a lot of an African fabric. So, no, if you like the gel plate pattern you put down and you want to keep that pattern, then just keep that as just a gel print for yourself. You can start a little book or a journal for yourself of pieces like that you really love. Why not? And then just make some more, because, we know we're not going to love every single one of them. Sometimes I'll just take the palette knife and just scoop out a little chunk of this and set it next to me, not on paper, but, you know, on a little dish, a palette, anything, and just do this from that. And the less water, I mean, the more water you put in and really mix it up so you get more mousse involved, then you have a more intense color. So you really can do, I started out by putting it around it, so that kind of ruined that, but then I went back and put it on the, you can see that blue still comes through the copper, which is really pretty. So love using mousse that way. And you could do this one over here that way, and you could use a bunch of different colors of mousse. You could make a pattern of color, or just choose whichever ones you wanted. Or you could do them like, here's something I started on this one. I put a lot of good color down that I liked, and then I started going in between them to get the gold vein down in between to make the stencil stand out, the design of the stencil stand out. But I didn't want the gold on the top on the medium. I wanted it down in between so that it popped out. Here is an eye. This is Summer Girl stencil from 13 Arts. There's her one eye and half of her mouth and, you know, part of her flowery head. And so you could take a brush and your mousse, and I already sprayed this with an aqua spray over the top of whatever was on the base. So, but you could take your mousse with water and color that in to get her eye exactly as you want it, with the intensity that you want, even adding some black or, you know. But you could do some real cool designs by adding, you could put color and then put a metallic one every so often. Okay, those are still not dry because they are watercolor paper that is saturated with
Tina's
water.
here.
Hey, Tina. Good to see you. Hi, Sylvia. Didn't
She's
see
in the
you.
car.
Marianne,
Marianne.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Sylvia. I have a little cup of water right here. And all I'm doing is dipping my brush in the water.
Toby's here.
And then using my Nuvo mousse like watercolor paint. And you can make it as intense as you want that way. And it gets exactly where you want. If you don't just want to, you know, put it on your finger and run it over the top, say I want these numbers to be coated. And this is not smooth. This medium on here is really rocky and bumpy and has lots of levels. So if I do it this way, I know I can get it in everywhere and keep it on the raised parts. So yeah, and it works with all the mousse. I love, you know, you need more ways to use the mousse because they'll last forever. If you're only taking them out and using them with your fingers over a couple things or around the edges of a couple things now and then, they're going to last you forever and they're going to get dry. But here's the thing, even if it is dry, take your palette knife and grab a chunk out of there and set it on a palette, not on paper. I just use a little plate or a little ceramic palette or something like that. And you use your palette knife, just crush it. And then take a brush with some water. And with a brush with some water and just mix it up. And you will end up with a perfectly moussey mixture, having added water just in that little bunch that you put right there. And it's just like, kind of like oil paint.
Tina's puppy proof in her house. She's getting a new puppy.
Oh, Tina, cool. What are you getting? What kind of puppy you getting? Love the puppies. They're so cute when they're puppies. They're all cute when they're puppies. They're like babies. Then they grow up. I'll do some more on that later, but yep. Once you use the Nuvo, do you have to heat set? You do not. If you just let it sit and dry, then it will be just fine. But if you want to quickly heat set it so that you can move on and do other things over it, then you can do that. If you know you want to do additional layers and you want to make sure that it's not going to move with water at all. If you think I might be putting quite a bit of water on there as I do other layers, then I would heat set it, Sylvia. If it's the last thing I'm doing on here, then no, I just let it dry on its own. But if I know I'm going to keep layering and layering in this, I will heat set that just so I know that stays put for sure. And then go on. Yeah. Send a picture. Oh, cool. Oh, an Airedale Terrier. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh, he's precious. Look at that. He, she. Male or female? Look, oh, cute. Look at those great big legs. It means he's got big paws going to grow into him. She. Oh, she's beautiful.
Yeah, she is cute.
She's beautiful, Tina. Congratulations. When are you going to get her?
Saturday, she said.
Oh, I didn't see that part. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Oh, let's see. Did I miss a question back there? Got Sylvia's. Thank you, Sylvia, for the question marks and the caps. It jumps out at me and it makes it a lot easier. Chat, Julie, if I'm going to do this, I need to make sure I do boring gel prints. Before the gesso part even.
You couldn't make a boring gel print.
Really? Julie, I don't use gesso for this because it's not thick enough or stiff enough. Use some kind of medium like a paste, a texture paste, cream paste, any of those. The other thing is, like, one of the cream pastes, do I have one right here? I thought I did. One of the cream pastes that, I know, Candy, you've got the blue and the gold. Cream paste from Stamperia. They're in that bright blue, that electric blue and gold and silver. They're like this. So you can put that paste through and already have color on the paste. Oh, here, let me show you this because Candy did that. Yes.
That's what the gold cream paste.
So then she doesn't even have to worry about coloring it. It's already a color that she wants. The other thing is, this one that I just showed you is Crackle Paste. You can do Crackle Paste over the stencil. And so you get these same designs, but they come out as Crackle Paste or come out crackly instead of just solid. Okay, these are really awful and they're not what I wanted to do. I really want to get into the alcohol ink. Let's see if these are dry. I'm going to
mine coming out too great.
Never when you want to show. Okay, I'm going to give them a quick heat dry just to make sure. Let's see. There's my third. Okay, I think they're dry enough. This will be interesting because I typically put color down as a piece on the card before starting the color on top of it. Color and then the medium through the stencil and then the color. So, and then like the alcohol inks and those things. This will be interesting because we didn't start with that color on the bottom. So I'm kind of anxious, curious to see what we're going to get from that. Let's see. What color should we start with? Somebody pick one. Anybody? Anyone? Let's see. What's right here? Pebble. Denim. There's nothing on there, so nothing's jumping out at me. Let's start with a latte. This will be fun to see what it does. I'm going to start with one drop. There, that's what it's supposed to do. On plastic paper, one drop, and it starts running through. I want it to run through the cracks. And I am hurrying this so you can try to get farther into it so you can see some process. I have no idea how it's going to affect it or work, or I might just have to do more layers. That's all, because there's no color as a base. Usually there's color as a base. All I'm doing is building on it and pulling out, you know, or adding to, giving the layers like this. This is just started and I let it sit there to dry. Okay, so there's some latte. I'm going to leave the ones we're using right there so we know what we've got. How about Sienna? Now, if I start with, if this had color on the base and I was adding these on and I really wanted to get a rusty patina look, then I think it's going to take me a few layers for that. But I've got these patinas from Ranger.
They're different. They're creamy.
They are. Yeah, these are not alcohol ink. They are patinas from Ranger, and I will use these. This one's called Marine, and that helps me get a good patina color. And it doesn't just do it on its own. I have to use it with some of these other things. The other thing that I will do is take a few drops or crumbles of embossing glaze. I like this turquoise one. Actually, this is salvaged patina. What's this one that I pulled out here? This one is Rusty Hinge. I might take just a few crumbles of that and spread it around. Not that I'm going to put heat on it and make it do anything, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I put that right onto the liquid.
That's what she wants her moisturizer to do on my skin, run through the cracks.
Yeah, deeply in the cracks and fill them up so it doesn't look. I'm with you, Sylvia.
That's a good one, Sylvia.
Sylvia, you should be a stand-up comic. Okay, enough of that one. Let's get another thing that you can use is your refill inks. The two I have here is Vintage Photo and Salvaged Patina. I'm going to start with some Vintage Photo because that's a good base color. And so I've got a lot of white around the edge. I'm going to see if I can get the Vintage Photo to fill in some of this around the edge and start getting. And those are big drops and they're much thicker. Look at that. That's much thicker because that's what you put on your ink pads. So it just doesn't run like water. So you might find that you want to take this little brush and move that around because I'd like to kind of get this all around the outside edge. And there's plenty, that one drop is pretty big. Get some of this white started looking like Vintage Photo. Okay. You probably, I've never tried it, but I'm thinking I probably could water that down so it would run more. But I'm okay with it not running as much because, like I said, you can always just take a brush and move it where you want it. And there's no, I mean, I'm not really painting it on to be painting. I'm just pushing it here and there to get the edges, the white edges, to have a little bit of Vintage Photo color on them. Okay, so you still see some white, and that is the part of the medium that's standing up. So let's see. Let's go to a blue. Let's do a Monsoon. Oh, I got to shake these like I shake everything, and you don't need to shake alcohol inks. Do not need to shake alcohol inks. You do the alloys and the mixatives. Okay. So this is Monsoon. On top of a latte and sienna, that you've got that caramely brown and that reddish brown or brownish red. This ought to actually starts to look like patina, and it's monsoon. Isn't that pretty colors?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, are they showing up on YouTube? Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of like they are, but we've got some. Okay, and then remember we've got alcohol. We can spritz it. And when you spritz it, that was one spritz. You're going to get all those little dots like cells if you're paint pouring. If you really want to move it, then you can take some alcohol and squirt it on. I don't really want to move it yet, or maybe not at all. I don't know. I'm still working with colors. Oop. Got way more drops there than I wanted, but yeah, I don't usually go this fast, but I'm trying to get to a point where you can see what you can do with it. So I like to let it run and look at it and see what I want. I want some more color in there, but let's see, what do I want? I thought I brought down some yellow. Did I? Yeah, Dijon. That's what I want. Love Dijon. Isn't that a great color, Candy?
Yes.
I love Dijon. It's one of those I thought, I don't know if I'll ever use that. And I tried it on something. I'm like, oh, Dijon is so pretty. It was one of the things that everybody asked, what colors did you use on that? And it was Dijon was one of 3. So hopefully, oh, my YouTube froze.
Unfroze.
Okay. Hopefully by the time it unfreezes, we'll be able to see what the Dijon is starting to do in between these colors. And it's hard for the camera because it's shiny. I don't worry about the ones that are still white. They'll get stuff on them in due time. Okay. Now I want a little bit lighter blue that's going to be even more, a little more like a patina. I'm going to use, actually, I'm going to use patina. Patina or pistachio. I like pistachio a lot too. So I'm going to use Patina Alcohol Ink now. Move that out of the way so I don't keep tipping it over. And this, and this, and that. Okay, so here comes Patina. One drop at a time. I heard that tiny meow.
I think she's probably given up, maybe.
That was just a tiny, almost like, just one last try. It's almost given up. Yep. I really like what that's doing with the Dijon. I really like the Dijon over the others. I need to let this dry a bit, and this is part of the problem of going so fast. I've got 3 of them, so I should move one to the other. When I put the colors on, it just needs not even very long just to dry. So when I add the next color, it doesn't just mix together and become a bunch of brown. And I'm not giving it time to dry.
Oh, I just dropped one of mine and I don't see it.
Okay. So, So this is Patina. I'm running through this, and then I'm going to let it dry, and I'll move to the third one. So you can see why I always use I always work on multiple at the same time. So there's Patina as a base, as a start there. And now I'm going to go to this one, and I think I'm going to start with Pink Sherbet. on this one. That kind of sounds like it would be bright pink, doesn't it? Woo! Good catch, inks. It's not really bright pink. It's more of like that, whoops, like that vintage rose color. Okay, so we'll let that dry so we can start to build. That's going to be really pretty with the patina. Okay, this guy really needs to dry. Things that I really liked are gone because I didn't give it time to dry between putting on the other layers. Okay, so that one's just going to have to sit there a bit and dry.
And this says the alcohol inks are darker on the medium than on the paper. Am I seeing that correctly?
Well, yes and no. Yes. Yes, they are, because there is the base. However, this one, the reason it's so dark on that is because I didn't give it time to dry in between. And so they're all mixed up. And so some really good color and design that I had is gone because I didn't let it dry in between. But yes, this is a perfect example here. You can see lighter on the paper, and then you can see the darker on the medium. But remember, on this one, we're starting with nothing on the paper. If there was already a color base on the paper, then you might not see that big of a difference, but you will see some difference. But
or do you want to know what the darker color you used was?
The one I just used right now,
I don't know.
Was Sienna. Yeah, I did a patina first on the base of this one, and then this one was Sienna. So I'm going to get Sienna around here, and then I'm going to let that one dry. Meow. So, good lesson, as Margie says. I'm teaching you what not to do. Don't just keep going without letting it dry between your colors, or you get a big brown mess. Because now I have to let it dry, and now I have to go back over it with the patina and the Dijon to get those colors and designs that I wanted, that I liked. Okay, so here's the pink sherbet. And yes, that is darker on the medium, a little bit darker. It looks more like a vintage dusty rose. Okay, and with the pink sherbet, I think we will go with a purple twilight. But it's so much more organic and it looks so much more cool if you put a drop down and then just let it run between, run where it wants to go. Liquid, like water, it'll always take the path of least resistance. So it's going to go where it's going to go. And that gives you such a cool organic design. It's always better than if I tried to do it on my own, because you just can't. You just can't make it look like nature. Okay. Pink and purple and what? Pink and purple and... I don't know. I'm curious. I wonder what Dijon would do with this one. I'm going to let that purple dry. This one's looking pretty good. Let's try a little bit of the Monsoon with this one. Let's see what happens. And if if you turn it over and you get a couple of drops and it's way too intense, way more intense than you wanted, you just grab your alcohol.
Toby likes the pink.
And spritz
Julie
it.
said gold or copper.
There's a good example of when you spritz it. That was 2 spritzes because one only got half of it and got half of the pink and purple. But you get all those little cells. If you keep spraying, then you get too much on there and it just kind of all runs together. But you do get the water spot look, which is also kind of cool. I'm going to spritz that just a bit more over there. Let's see what this is. This is getting dry. It's still not dry. Yeah, I just way overdid thinking about time and trying to show you these things and forgetting that it needs to dry between.
Dawn came in.
Hey, Dawn. Okay, pink and purple. I do think it would be good. Gold was my first thought.
Car inspection. She's getting a car inspected.
Oh, fun. The gold is going to put us into an alloy. So let's do that. Okay, so I typically use alloys on these and not mixatives because if you remember, mixatives are intended to mix with these. And let me back that up. It all depends on what you want to get out of it. Mixatives are intended to kind of mix in throughout with these, and alloys are intended to separate from them, like repel them. And so they will go along the edge and create the cool gold edgy lines, that kind of thing. So it depends on what look you want to get. That's the bottom line. It totally depends on what look you want to get. And these are thicker too. So it's always interesting with the alloys because they are thicker. And a lot of times I'll put that on and I'll just give it some alcohol right away to help thin it out and help it to run. Now this, because they've got medium on them, you know, it's not like where it's just going to run and go, you know, along the paint. It's obviously going to follow the medium line too, just like the alcohol ink does. Okay, the other thing that alcohol did was really water that down. So if I like that there and I want a lot more intense gold there, I'll just put more drops over the top of that. Let's try some up here. This one I will not water down, and you can see the difference. It's running pretty well because it's the plastic paper. So as I was saying, that Yupo is a brand, not a type of paper. The type of paper it is a plastic craft paper. So a lot of us have found on Amazon Graphics, Grafix, Graphics plastic craft paper. It is way, 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 way less expensive than Yupo is. Comes in a 12 by 12 sheet that you can cut down to a whole bunch of ATCs or 3 by 5, 5 by 7, you know, whatever you want. And I don't feel bad just trying things on it because it's not as expensive as Yupo. The other thing is I don't feel bad trying things with the alcohol inks anyway, especially on plastic paper, because if I don't, I've got a 12 by 12 sheet of graphics plastic right now that I was trying some different alcohol things on. And by the time I finished, I don't like what I have at all. And it's still sitting here. All I have to do is spray that with alcohol or squirt it with alcohol to reactivate it. And then I can blow it around or move it around with a brush or add some other colors to it and blow it around and change that completely. Okay, I'm really starting to like what we're getting here. I don't know if you can see the design. I'd like this part of the design to come out a little bit more. I'm really liking what the patina is doing there. Let's see if we can get some of that patina to run through that center part. Some spots where we did the monsoon is a little dark. These spots.
Toby said that is so pretty. I want to get home to play now.
Yeah. It makes me do the same thing when I watch somebody's like, I just want to get in there and play now. I do hope you guys play, and please post and hashtag your play. And even if you don't think it's super great, hashtag it and tell us what you did on it, because somebody else might really like it. Or you might be saying, okay, I tried this, this, and this, and this is what I got. And so I'm not going to do that again. Like this. I love the colors. I love what I had, and I kept going and didn't dry it in between. Now I don't love it. So I have to let it dry and kind of start those layers over. Hashtag for today is hashtag Monday Jumpstart ATC Color. Monday Jumpstart ATC Color. But definitely, please do post these. And I think it makes it easier to start feeling comfortable with alcohol ink because you're doing it one drop at a time. You're not just putting down a whole bunch and like, what the heck am I doing? I don't even know what to do with alcohol ink. But truly play with it one drop at a time on the ATCs and let it run, or take your brush and move it around however you want it. Okay, it's still like a little brighter in there. I have a feeling I need to let that, there we go. I need to let it dry though. I need to let it dry. So let's do that. Let's come back to this and see how this is looking. All right, it's still a little wet around here, but this part up here is pretty dry. The part with the medium on it is pretty dry. So I'm going to get some patina on it here and let that dry. So we're going to start to lighten this up again and get some of those colors that I really like. The patina and the Dijon. We had some really cool design with that. And then it just all went together to one big brown mush because I didn't let it dry between. Yeah, I'm liking this one a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Never know what, I mean, I just never know. You know, I don't start out thinking that this is what it's going to be. And a lot of it is just because of the medium with the stencil underneath. It gives it the cool texture, the cool design that I couldn't do. The colors would be cool just like that, but I couldn't do that cool design without having that stencil underneath it. This one is still not dry over here. I'm going to give it a quick shot with the heat gun. And really, the only time you have to worry about your plastic paper melting is if you're putting a really hot heat gun on it for an extended period of time. If you're just running over it a little bit to help it, that alcohol evaporate or help it dry, you know, a little bit, or the very last stage. I've never had a piece of this plastic paper melt on me. I can see how it could with my super strong heat gun, leaving it there for an extended period of time. It absolutely would. But I don't leave it there that long. Okay, so let's start to get some Dijon in here and see if we can lighten some of this up. And where's our alcohol spritz bottle? Here we go. You can see some of that Dijon go in there with the patina. That looks really cool. Okay, now that's got to dry. But yeah, that's a big key, is letting it dry between layers or between colors. I don't know. I'm not sure how much more I want to do to that. I really like the way this monsoon went on directly on the white on the card without having any color base. It gave me that variant in color. Does that show up on YouTube? Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
That's a cool variation in color. The patina did it too. And a lot of that, though, is because I spritzed that with alcohol. And then that Sienna looks a lot like rust going in there. And this just isn't going light. So maybe we need to just take some Sienna in there, and instead of trying to make it that light blue, give it some of that. Please don't fall upside down. I always have to drop one every session.
Oh, your alcohol ink.
No, the card.
Oh, the card?
Yes, but it's still right side up.
Oh, you're lucky. Mine be face down.
This is the first time it's ever not been face down. I'm holding it like this, so I'm not touching it. And it slid right out of my hand. Where's that monsoon? Getting a lot of drips right down the side. I don't want a whole drop, so I'm just going to touch the tip to it and get that little tiny bit that was right there. Let's see. And, you know, you really just keep playing with it until you have what you want. And I didn't want the whole thing to get spritzed with that, just that little corner.
There's Arc Spectrum Yupo, Be Creative Yupo, Poppy Craft Yupo, Legion Paper Yupo, and Tim Holtz Yupo.
Yeah. And those are all called Yupo, but
plastic paper too.
Right. But if you go in there and you look for plastic paper or plastic craft paper. Okay, here is a Basil Basics paper. And it is plastic. They call it plastic embossing paper. You can emboss with it, but it's just a sheet of plastic paper, just like the Yupo. I use that with alcohol ink. And then the one we're using here is, I thought I still had the...
Marianne, I still have my Radiant Pearls. Would they work over texture paste?
Radiant Pearls. What are Radiant Pearls?
I don't know what those are.
Remind me what Radiant Pearls are. Is that the pearl powder, like the what am I saying? Liquid pearls. Are they like liquid pearls? Yeah, you could emboss any of those plastic papers, Julie. And so if I didn't want to use a stencil and put down this design, you could emboss the design in first and then do the alcohol.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, what are we going to do with this pink and purple? This, not liking what that gold did. I thought I would, so I'm going to cover some of that with pink sherbet. But it needs something different. Maybe it needs Dijon. You know what it probably needs is like sunshine yellow or something, huh? Maybe butterscotch?
I don't know. I couldn't get my sunshine yellow to really show up. My colors are too dark in the background.
I'm just thinking with the pink and purple, they're not super dark. Let's see, Dandelion Dandelion's brighter than sunshine yellow.
Yep.
See what Dandelion does. I should let that pink dry. I need to keep I try to keep them with their same lid. But,
I do too, but that doesn't always
don't
happen.
do a very good job of that. I should line them all up and take the lids off ahead of time and just set the lid right behind it. And if I,
then you set them down in the wrong spot.
That's the problem is I set them right here instead of setting them back in line. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try some of this Dandelion, which is really bright. In the bottle anyway, and see what we get putting that with this pink and purple. I might need to put that on this one over here now to get what I was getting with the Dijon, just because I ruined it by putting too many layers and not letting it dry through.
I need something on this one.
And a lot of times I'll get it to this stage. I'll probably let this one sit. And then I'll come back and look at it later. Because sometimes you look at it so long. There's a lot that I really love about this, and I don't want to mess it up. Can you see like this stuff up at the top?
Tilt it the other way.
Let's see.
Other way. Towards the table. There you go. Come back a little bit.
That
down just a little bit towards the table, the top towards the table, because you're getting the light.
Yeah, and I'm trying to look at. Oh, you know what? Just holding it like that on YouTube, I'm seeing it. On StreamYard, I'm not, but on YouTube, I am seeing that.
Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's better on YouTube than StreamYard, which is ironic.
Yeah,
I really like that, and that's from spritzing it with alcohol. And I really like...
Mine ain't spritzing, it's just...
I really like this stuff down here. I'm not really crazy about the top right corner. And I don't have color that I want right here. in this center part. So I will probably just let this sit, and I'll come back and look at it, you know, in a few hours or later tonight or even tomorrow morning and see it with fresh eyes and decide what I want to do to that. It doesn't all have to be done in one session. Let's see what this Dandelion is doing to this on the screen. That is coming out more like a gold. I do like that better. Although the pink, because it's like a dusty rose, is really kind of fading away. The purple is gorgeous on that, though. Let's see. There really isn't a lot of pink. But there is, well, there is. There's super bright pink. That was the softest pink. Maybe, okay. I'm going to be bold and put a little bit of flamingo where that pink is. And I'm going to split it, but I don't want it on these other two that are sitting over here. So, all right.
Sylvia says, yeah, they're old, kind of like liquid pearls, but if you use over glossy paper, they never dry.
Oh.
Kat Rungian developed them in the 80s, but she passed away. And
Sylvia, you gotta
Julia's
try
like,
it.
what if you drip alcohol on it? I don't know. That one just came in.
Are they a water base or an alcohol base? That's the first thing you need to know. And is it something that you could put down and spread around with a brush? Will they run? If you put a drop down, will they run? Are they viscous enough to run? And you know what? It doesn't have to run. I like the way the alcohol ink runs on the plastic paper. That's how I get some of these cool looks. You know, that I couldn't do this design. I just couldn't. That's, you know, something that just happens with it naturally going where it's going. So that's why I like the way the alcohol inks run on plastic paper. Let's see here. Now I'm not sure which one that is. But yeah, you got to try them, Sylvia. Absolutely, you got to try them. These need to dry. I'll put that down, and I'm going to let this dry before I do the same thing and get too many colors and they can't dry. Okay, whoops. Now I'm just knocking them all over. Okay. All right. I really do like that. But this needs, I want more the lighter color that will bring out the definition of this cool texture that's right here. And then this part up here. So more of that patina. I might even drop some patina, marine patina on it, but we'll see. Let's go back to this one. It's been sitting here for a bit. Okay, this one's having a harder time because I put so many layers and it all ran together. So it's taken a bit for things to, these patinas have a ball in them. They need to be shaken up, shooken up, shaken up. So many possibilities. Spritz your dark one and dab some of the ink off. Well, it's not coming off the medium that's sitting, that's raised, although I might be able to just scrape the whole top off. And I can't get to the stuff that's down on the bottom because the medium is there. It's the only problem with that. But I think I can just keep adding to it. Just keep adding. And, you know, I may spritz it again, but I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna get some of this patina, and this patina is used on metal a lot. It's kind of primarily what it's for. So it's not so liquidy. It is actually intended to be applied with a paintbrush. But then I'm really careful about that because As soon as I get a brush in it, it changes that natural look. You just don't get that same natural look. Even if I'm just taking it down in between, like it would run. I mean, probably if I went a little slower and went right down in there, but okay, so we'll just get a little start there. Okay, and I'm going to put some of this Dandelion, which is much brighter than that Dijon, and see what I can get. Oh, wow, I'm not even going to spritz that yet. Look what the Dandelion's doing. That's awesome. Starting to bring out some color. Just watched it on YouTube. It's kind of cool. Just over the few seconds, when I first squirted it on, it was just dark. And over about 5 seconds, it just came out nice and bright and intense. So I'm not going to spritz that yet, although I might spritz this patina up here just a bit. And actually, I might dab off some of this color that's up here in the corner. There we go. Good idea, Tina. Dab off some of that, which brings me back to a lighter base up in the corner to work with. Maybe, let me try just a little alcohol on this cloth. This is just a dry baby wipe, and see if anything will come off the mediums. I don't think so, because the medium just soaks it in. Yeah, and I don't want to totally destroy that. But what is working is getting that Dandelion down in there. Once that's in there, I can lighten that up. Okay, watch this over a couple of seconds, how that Dandelion just starts to turn gold. That's kind of cool. I just put it in the corner and it goes on, just looks dark. And I'm like, oh crap, that's not helping. And over a few seconds, it just turns really bright gold. That'll be good. I do like what I got over there, Tina, by pulling the dark off where there isn't the medium along the edge. That's much better. So I may need to go in like with some mousse or something over the top of this medium, or let it completely dry overnight, because obviously, because that medium is porous, it's soaking in all that alcohol ink, and it is not completely dry. And so nothing may work on it until it is. Let's try 1 drop of Dandelion on top of the medium and see what happens. As it runs off, it's great down in between because that's just the plastic paper. But I don't think, yeah, it's not, it just soaks in to the dark and adds to the dark. Okay, that's all right, because then I've got, yeah, you can always just run mousse over it. But once it's completely dry, it's alcohol ink. So once it's completely dry, that will be set, and I can put more on top of it without getting without it just soaking into that dark abyss. And these are really, you know, you could say a labor of love, but I think it's just more fun.
Lucy says she doesn't know what we're doing, but she loves it. We're just playing, Lucy. We're just playing.
Yeah, Lucy, literally, yeah. We're playing with alcohol inks and other liquid media on plastic paper. These are the ones that on Monday we put the medium on, let it dry, and now we're coming back to do some color over the top of it. Yeah, so yeah, you can see the big mistake. I really started to have some great color, and the big mistake was not letting that one dry in between. And now here's another thing. That's a good example right here. If you look at these two, you can tell that the medium is much thicker on the one on the right. Those holes, because that was a plastic doily that was really thick. So the medium that I get on there is going to be very thick. And the stencil I used on the left was a very thin stencil. So it's a very thin layer of medium. So even though it may soak into the medium, it's not the same as this that has, I mean, visible thickness to just absorb all that into the dark, deep Let's see. This one goes with this one. Try to keep them together, will you? What is this one? This is flamingo. Okay, so we added a little flamingo there. I don't know. It needs something else, but a little more purple run down. Purple twilight, because I want kind of that dusty color. The purple twilight over the flamingo gave us an entirely different color of purple than the rest of the card. That's kind of cool. Let's see what we get over here over this dandelion.
Julie says there is a graphics craft plastic opaque black.
Oh,
that would be interesting with the shimmery colors on them.
Yes, with the shimmery colors and with metallics. That would be super cool. I have not got any of that. But the graphics craft plastic opaque, that's what I'm using right here. It's awesome. And it's a whole lot cheaper. But yeah, I didn't even see the black. That would be cool. Okay, so here's this. Let's see. This one's dry. This is just watercolor paper. So the more layers I get on it, once it's coated, the alcohol ink would be likely. This is just sprays on this one, actually. Alcohol ink would be likely to run, but alcohol ink isn't going to run on watercolor paper unless you coat it with a medium. If you coated it with gesso, if you did even a clear coat of gesso, then it would run just like the plastic paper. So you actually don't have to have the plastic paper. You can put the gesso on it and give it that same property. Let's see.
Just stuck my finger in it.
Way to go. Let's try a drop of alcohol ink. Now it's got a few layers up here and see. Look at that. Yeah, I've got a bunch of layers of spray on there. And so when I put alcohol ink on it, it is running down through the veins, which I like. Let's give it a drop of gold alloy. See if that will. See, that's thicker, and it kind of ran right over the top of it instead of going. I tried to put it in the vein, but it goes over both. So that's covering a whole piece of the design, not just the veins. Shaking up some sprays here. Try on this one. All right, let's see if this one will spray. I don't remember if this is Stamperia's turquoise, and I don't remember if it's one that sprays or not. Nope, sprayer doesn't work. Darn it. All right, and how about Stamperia Violetto? Well, go put the kettle on, Julie. Guess we'll have to experiment. Don't remember if they're water-based or alcohol-based. I'll have to summon up some no fear. Yes, Sylvia, no fear. I'm sitting here doing this in front of you, and I'm just experimenting with all these things. And so I get a big mess. It's okay, because now you know exactly what not to do.
Your mess is way better than my mess.
Not this one over here. You just need to let it dry between. And you might not have thought of that.
My spritzer's not working. It's coming out way too big.
This spritzer's not working. Neither of these three. If you did that on your own, and
if my headphones were on Bluetooth, I could get me a spritzer. But
well, put it down and go get one. If you did that on your own and you got that big black mess, you would think, "Oh, I just can't do this. Mine just didn't turn out like hers. It's just a hot mess." Hers turned out way better, and because I didn't tell you that you've got to let it dry between layers, even of alcohol ink. And that's just too dark for this. This is my mop up ATC. It mopped up the medium, and now it's mopping up the media. That's just too dark for that. So let's get it moving a bit. And to see if I can get this aqua to spray. Soft teal. That's what it is. It's a soft teal. If I can get that to spray, might lighten that up a little bit, but I need to let it dry. Marianne, let it dry in between. I'm going to grab the dryer. We don't have time. Yeah, like I said, if I'm just doing it on my own, I will have maybe 6 set out, 2 rows of 3 that I'm working on all at the same time. So I put some color on one, I just set it down and let it dry, and I go to one of the others. And so they all always have time to dry. If you're only working on one, it's really easy to get super impatient. You know, I didn't think about that, but this soft teal might be the thing to just lighten up these 2 spots that I think are too dark. So let's try it. This is not alcohol. This is Prima Color Bloom Soft Teal Spray Mix. I'm assuming it's water-based, but I'm not positive, and it doesn't say. That's kind of strange that it doesn't say. Oh, there it is. Yeah, acid-free, non-toxic, water-based. But let's see. I'm going to let that dry. I just tried to spritz just the corner in this. Of course, you know, it's a big spritz going everywhere. But we'll see what happens with that. All right, this still needs a lot of help here. Did you get your new sprayer?
I did. Now I'm on alcohol high.
The other thing that we can do is take, get some drops of alcohol and drop it just on specific places to get some cell-looking things there. We've got some good cell-looking things in the purple over here, even down there. Not really crazy about this pink anymore. The pink by itself was really pretty, but with all the other colors, I'm not really crazy about what that's doing. So let's see. Here's Fiesta. Let's see what Fiesta does with it. And that's the thing, is you don't like it, try something over it. If I don't like Fiesta, I'll just try let it dry and try something over the top of that. So 1 drop at a time and kind of let it run. I don't want to just cover everything, but I like when it runs naturally where the medium is on there. That gave a really nice, pretty pop of pink. I'm going to give it a little spritz. Let's see what happens with that. I could tell it's puddling, which means it wants to run. It needs more. So I need to turn it so it can run out instead of just puddle there. Okay, I need to let that dry before I continue. I don't have to like it, just let it dry so I continue to build, so I can continue to build on top of it. Where did I just put the lid to that one? Right there. So let's see. Where did I just set them? When I cut it, there we are. Cut 6 cards. I only put medium on 3. We can take a card. Somebody pick a color combination. What about an oxide? They cover everything. Yeah, oxide is not going to be alcohol-based, but it doesn't matter. You can mix your water and your alcohol-based things, as you just saw. But again, I just have to let it... let's see. Do I have my oxide? Oh, my oxides aren't right here. Maybe they are. No, they're not. Started putting them all in the Tim Holtz tins. I like mop-ups too. Color combination. How about this Fiesta and black? Did I bring out pitch
Now you're
black?
talking my colors.
Yeah, pink and black, teal and black. Those are my favorites. Let me grab the pitch black. Oh, pitch black does not want to be opened.
I know, mine dries up too. I thought it was just
Really?
me.
No,
Yeah.
I don't have this problem with any of the other.
Nope, just the black one.
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
But again, did the different pigments have different properties? That's why some are thicker than others.
The black is really sticky.
Holy cannoli. I'm going to try putting some alcohol down in there and see if that helps loosen up some of that. No, I cannot even get the. Oh, there we go. Alcohol loosened it up. That's the trick. I just took the alcohol with the metal pointy thing and squirted some alcohol right down in here so it could get up in there wherever the dry black pigment is. Wow. I'm going to just dry it off, make sure I don't have. Okay. So I'm going to try a few drops of black here and there. I don't want to spritz over these, so I'm bringing it over here in front of this. Of course, now I'm doing it at an angle. I'm just going to let this run a bit. Of course, it'll just all run together. I tend to put too much on.
5 minutes.
Okay. These little teeny tiny cards, and I put enough on to do 5 by 7. Okay, that's got to dry. So then I go in with the pink. Let's see.
Word, I have a ton on the cap of this black. I wonder why. I don't store them upside down.
Oh, alcohol inks never. I don't either. Yeah. I just sent you a private message. Okay, I'm gonna. That's not gonna dry. I'm gonna have to shoot it with a heat gun. I'm gonna bring it down here so it doesn't hit everything else. Because I have way too much alcohol in there for this little bitty ATC. In fact, I'm gonna do this and let some of it drop off. I could even do this and purposefully. There we go. Now we'll get some better design too. Okay, let me dry that. Let's try this. It dries really fast if you do it layer by layer. There's some cool shading even just with the black in there. Black and gray to the white. I'll wait till we get the pink or the turquoise. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of the blackness. Let's see here. All right, we're going to get us a few drops of, what is this? Fiesta. Fiesta, Fiesta. We're just going to let it run a bit. And then we're going to spritz it. Ooh, love the little cells we get when we spritz it. Let it run some more. It's cool, and they're kind of lining each other, and I definitely want more pink in there, but I need to dry it before I start adding more, or I'll just end up with a pink-black mess, which will be gray. So that, and I'm going to, not that one. Oh, come on. Not that one. Do I already have it down here? I didn't think I did. Glacier would be pretty turquoise. I'm going to reach for turquoise for this one.
Yep. Everybody's saying Julie's got to leave on time. She said she got a hot date.
Wow. Cool. Yeah, I got a hot date to put a corned beef in the oven.
Ugh.
Or on the stove, but then it can just cook by itself for a couple hours. It doesn't need me.
We're trying to decide whether we're going to go out to dinner tonight or tomorrow night. My son is taking us out to dinner.
Nice. Very nice. That's cool. And get a tweezer where I can just get a hold of a teeny tiny bit. Okay, if it'll dry like that, that starts to get some very cool design in there. Let's go back here to the pink and see what we've got. Almost dry. Well, I can keep playing with these, and you guys go definitely play. I mean, pull out what you have. It doesn't even matter what you have. Any color that you have that you can make liquid, start with that on the base. And then we can even put those shimmer powders on here and let them burst on the plastic paper. They don't have to be on watercolor or regular paper for sure. And I have a feeling that this center one here with the patina and the sienna, before I finish, I will probably drop some crystals of embossing glaze on it. You have to drop that on while it's wet. You don't need embossing ink. If you drop it on while it's wet, it just sticks to the ink, and then I'll heat set it. And so those will do their little shiny patina thing here and there, not over the whole thing, but here and there. And that will be very cool. So I can't wait to see what you guys find when you play, and put them in the group. Hashtag Monday Jumpstart ATC Color. Don't forget that. Hashtag
Hi, Julie.
Jumpstart ATC Color. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Thursday, we'll see you here Thursday, 2 o'clock Mountain Time. Hashtag Mass Make Double Tags. I will be putting the event in tonight, so you'll be able to see that. But all you need is cardstock or anything that you would make tags out of. So if you make tags out of regular scrapbook paper, you can use that. I tend to use cardstock. What? Computer acting up. Good thing this isn't my thing. Yeah, she likes watching, but she's not going to get in the middle of it. It's okay, Margie. It's okay. Margie, somebody's got to watch and chat and laugh at me. Otherwise, I would think nobody cared. So thank you for always being there. Okay, guys, I will watch in the group then for your posts. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you on Thursday for Mass Make Double Tags. Bye.